Okay, great.
Okay, we are live. Can we have our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Anshuman, take over, please?
Yes. Okay, so first of all, a very, very, very good evening to one and all present over here.
Good evening.
On this lovely evening today, I would like to take this opportunity to wish all of you Ramadan Kareem and a happy Easter to one and all.
Same.
So without further ado, let's go ahead with the meeting. I would like to state a few ground rules as a Sergeant at Arms. First of all, before all that, I would like to welcome you all for today's 85th Newstart's 85th club meeting. Welcome all of you. There are some new faces, some familiar faces. So as the meeting progresses, we shall get to know each one of you. So for every Toastmaster meeting, we have a few ground rules. Can the slides be shared, please? I do not have.
Yeah.
Anshuman. So first of all, we shall start off by stating Toastmasters mission, club mission statement. I would like all of you to repeat after me. We provide a supportive and positive
learning
experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Excellent. For every Toastmaster meeting, we have a few ground rules. First of all, please put your phones on silent. And since we're having an online meeting, kindly put your microphones on mute when the other person is speaking so as to not disturb them whenever they are speaking. Keep your videos on, so it's so everyone who's speaking feels that there is an audience listening to them. And do not be shy to applaud or use the icons to support the speakers through however you feel, or even through our chat box. And in every Toastmaster meeting, we refrain from 3 topics: sex, politics, and religion. So as and when you get a chance to speak, kindly refrain from these topics. And all of you, since you're in the comfort of your homes, I assume you should be knowing the fire exit in case of any emergency. So in case of any emergency, please go to your fire exit. So those are the ground rules. And without further ado, I shall pass on the microphone to our VP, today's host, Toastmaster DTM, Anita Naidu. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Anshuman. I would look forward to, Anshuman, can you also be the co-host along with Ahmed, just in case for Spotlight and all that stuff?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I just keeping you all as a backup. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
If need be only, otherwise we don't have to. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms Anshuman. We don't have a physical meeting today, but nevertheless, there's a lot that we can do with our physical body, physical form, because this is afternoon and a little onset of evening for Indians. So let's do something to, trigger the brain, the peptides, the neuropeptides to come out and do a good job today. So I want you all to stand up, or even if you all are sitting down, it's fine. I just want you all to raise your hands. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Raise it more, please. Okay. Thank you so much. You're going to put your hands down. Okay, Anshuman, you've not done that, so as a punishment, yeah. Can you raise it more? Yeah. So now, truth time. For people, yeah, you can come down. Your hands can come down now. But this is truth time. You can put your hands down. And the truth time is, I want you all to tell me how many of you all have raised your hand even more higher when I said raise it more. Raise your hands and tell me how many of you all did that. So when I told you all raise it more, did you all stretch your hands even more?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Which means it's confession time now. You have not done it to the fullest when I told you all to do it at the first go. Agree? Yeah, you can unmute yourself. There's nothing to lose. Which means there is an underlying statement over here, and that is we don't always perform to the complete potential that we have innate in us. Okay, so today, if you have noticed on our poster, on our flyer, we said let's communicate. So how many of you understand let's communicate has got an with after that, and with whom? I want to know that with whom. Who do you think we should be communicating with? I want answers.
With ourselves.
Yeah. Sorry?
With each other.
With ourselves or with each other?
One answer per head. With each other.
Communicate with ourselves first.
Okay, communicate with ourselves. Perfect. Anybody else?
Communicate with each other.
Communicate with each other. Yes. And okay.
Whenever you get an opportunity.
Anshuman, can you just check on the group? Shilpi is not able to join. Just tell her to use the meeting ID and passcode. Yeah. So communicate with each other, communicate with ourselves whenever we get an opportunity to. Somebody was saying.
Whenever we get an opportunity, when we confront another, we have to communicate for sure. Depends upon what context it is. So now it is now we are in the Toastmasters meeting. Let us communicate with each other.
Correct. Yeah. Let us communicate with each other in this scenario, which is very important. And communication does not necessarily have to be verbal. It can be non-verbal. Even emoji, even your presence in the video, switching your video on also is a communication that you are delivering. But then the most important communication that we need to be doing every day is, as Padmini has rightly said, is the communication with yourself. As soon as you get up in the morning, looking at the mirror, you have to look at the mirror and you have to communicate with yourself. And what you communicate is a thought that has been invested into yourself. And that becomes you apparently by the end of the day, during the day to the end of the day. So be very careful. When you communicate to yourself, you have to be telling the virgin truth to yourself. And understand that every time you're trying to tell that truth to yourself, it should not be something that's going to hinder your progress for the day. It should be something that you want yourself to grow, to be more progressive. Okay. Now that's one thing which you have, the exercise which I have made you all do is something which is related to this. It's like you can push yourself every day, little by little, even more than you have done yesterday. And that's very important, especially for us who are there in this forum, because we always think that when we've completed level 1, okay, we are better now. Probably we can delay our speech for the next so many months. Or when we are in level 2, we think we are far more better now. It's okay even if it is continued. And level 3, people don't even understand many times why are we in level 3. How does it matter? We are a very good communicator. Now, what happens here is a gradual progress that you will see only by practice. Okay, what happens in Toastmasters or in any curriculum or in your office, in your working environment, at your home, whichever course, whatever you're doing in life, is a gradual increment in progress that happens, which you can only observe and manifest if you execute it, if you are doing it consistently. If you don't consistently do it, it will be a complete full stop and you will not see any growth happening and life becomes mundane. And one thing that I wanted to tell you all today very importantly is self-love. Communicate with yourself in a very loving manner. Tell yourself that you are the most happiest being in the world. Tell yourself you're proud to be yourself. And this is a very important thing, very important thing. The same exercise which we done today, if you ask a child, the child will not even think twice and he or she will be so happy in raising it to the fullest, with giggles and laughter and trying to compare and all. So that is a child. The child never thinks. The child doesn't stop herself and pushes herself to the maximum. So somewhere during this journey of growing up, we've lost the child in us. So this is a small remembrance, a reminder to say that re-invoke the child in yourself. And that cannot happen overnight. It can happen in very minute steps, day by day, little by little, like the Kaizen philosophy. Small steps will lead to a big change in you eventually. So with self-love, with small steps day by day, let's move on. For the benefit of our guest who's come here today, I'm just going to share a few thoughts about what exactly happens in a Toastmasters environment. So Smita, this is a shout out to you. Here in a Toastmasters meeting, we are roughly about, as of now, 10 to 12 people who meet every fortnight for 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And what do we do here? We have project speeches which are prepared and they are evaluated. There is no critical evaluation. There's a constructive feedback and evaluation that's done according to the guidelines provided by the curriculum. The project speeches are also based on a curriculum, which I will show you now in some time. And we also have impromptu speeches, of which you will be a part today, which is called the table topic speeches, where you need to speak on, you have to think on your feet and speak right then and there for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. Yeah. And then we have, apart from this, we have the other roles wherein they don't talk much, but they are silent observing roles. And they're called the timers, the word master, the grammarian, so on and so forth. So, and our curriculum here, it's an international curriculum. It's universally, every Toastmaster abides by this. We have about 11 paths, out of which when you register, you choose one path, depending on what your demand is. And after you choose it, you have to complete 5 levels, each level comprising of different projects. Okay. And you will be assigned a mentor, whichever club you join, and they would be helping you through the levels, through the projects. At a certain stage, as I keep saying, after level 2 or so, you kind of it becomes an exchange rather than a mentor-mentee relationship, becomes an exchange of ideas. And after completion of every level, you get a digital certificate, which comes directly signed by the CEO of the Toastmasters International and the international president for the current year. Okay. So that's about Toastmasters. And now we quickly move on to the procedures in our meeting today. So welcome one and all to the 85th meeting of Newstart Toastmasters. Newstart Toastmasters currently is under Area 31 of Division I in District 105. Soon we are going to be a part of a different district, which is called District 127, and a different division as well. So details about that will follow very soon in our mails. And today, we have some missing people here. Was it difficult to get in touch? Anshuman?
I message her what to do. I don't know. I don't know if it's her network problem. It's something with her internet.
Even Ryan is not here. Okay. Can we ask? Can you just tell Ryan to join? Just give me a second. Okay, it's almost Easter time, so everyone is in a mood, I think. So anyways, Ryan is going to join us shortly. He's doing the word master role and the grammarian role. So in the meantime, Smita, can we just learn a little more about you today as a guest? We'll just finish that formality and wait for Ryan to join. Yep. Smita, if you could unmute. You need to unmute here.
Yeah. Hi, all. I'm Smita Nanda, and right now I'm working with a PR company called Fortuna PR as a journalist. And before that, I've been a teacher. TGT, I started with TGT, then I went on to be a PGT teacher, and then I became a journalist. And that's how, that's where I'm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, journalist. I mean, is it a travel journalist, a food journalist?
No, it is. I'm working with a PR firm. So I'm writing press releases and articles, news reports, all of these. Feature writing.
Fantastic. So we have an excellent writer on board here, and person must be having more insight into the current affairs. Welcome, Smita, once again. And yes, we have our latecomer. We're going to find him very soon. Toastmaster Ryan, who's actually doing the word master role as well as the grammarian role. Toastmaster Ryan, would you introduce the word?
Hi, Toastmaster. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Hi.
Yes. So, I would like to introduce the word of the day. So the word of today for today is jovial. So jovial means, just give me a second. Yeah, jovial means to be cheerful or friendly. That is basically the word of the day. And I would like to use this word in a sentence as an example. So the thought of me being in the Newstart Toastmasters Club makes me feel very jovial. So I would invite anyone who wants to make use of the word in a sentence, please.
Yeah,
Anyone?
we all know that Ryan himself is a very jovial person who had just taken up the contest at first go and did a fantastic job in it. Anshuman, take over.
I think this meeting has a very jovial vibe to it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Everyone.
Try Toastmaster side when you try.
Well, I would say it's a very jovial feeling, despite of not being able to meet. We are conducting this meeting online. Thank you.
Yeah, hi. I can be a jovial or a non-jovial person depending upon the people around me. So right now, I would like to be a jovial person.
Fantastic.
Shall I try?
Yeah.
Jovial friends always add more happiness to life.
Nice. And I hope you're all jovial friends.
Yes, of course, yes.
Everyone? Padmini?
Yeah, since morning I was in a very jovial mood because I'm going to attend my Toastmasters meeting and I'll be doing the table topics.
Okay, we have a surprise person here. Jirol? Hi.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Anita.
Hi. Is it staying
Yeah.
on?
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Yeah, Amita, you unmuted yourself to try the word. Toastmaster Amita, yeah.
Yeah, the jovial temperament of a child is infectious. Let us have that childlike manner in us.
Yes, sure. Yeah, anyone else? Rajlakshmi?
It is happy to see the most jovial person, Gerald, today in this meeting.
Yeah, we are yet to see him. He's here. Yeah, anyone else? Reshma, I think you are the last jovial person to talk. Yeah, go ahead.
December is a jovial month of the year because we have Christmas during that time.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, Ryan. I think back to you, Ryan.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for attempting to use the word in a sentence. And I would encourage all of you to use the word of the day during the course of this meeting. And I would be keeping track on how many times each one of you all will use the word. So I definitely would encourage all of you to use the word of the day as much as possible so that we can also learn while using it.
And I guess you're also the grammarian today?
Yes.
Okay. So would you want to say a few words about that? And then hand it over.
Yeah, sure. So as a grammarian, I would be keeping a check on the vocabulary, the use of sentences, and giving a report at the end of the meeting regarding how well you all have used the sentences, as well as any changes if I would like to suggest to you. So that what I would be giving at the end of the meeting.
Yep. Thanks, Ryan. So let's give him a big round of applause. This is the maiden word master that we have here today. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, now we move on to the next most important segment. But before that, let me introduce the timer for today is Toastmaster Ahmed, and he will be timing every segment. So Ahmed, I hope your virtual graphics are ready. All the 3 cards. Would you want to display them once?
Yes, I'll just display them once.
And I hope you have the agenda in front of you for the timing.
Yes.
Okay, so for the project speeches, it's 5, 6, and 7. Yellow, amber for 6, and red for 7.
Red for 7.
That's right. Yeah,
okay.
Perfect.
So
thank you so much, Toastmaster Ahmed.
So you want
you can remove it. You can go back.
Okay.
Thank you. So now we have the first speaker for the evening, Toastmaster. Sorry, Reshma. Is it Reshma? Yeah. Toastmaster Reshma. And Toastmaster Reshma is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Anshuman, who's going to read the objectives of her speech. Toastmaster Anshuman, over to you.
Once again, hi everyone. My target speaker, Toastmaster Reshma, is delivering her L1P3 speech, vocal variety and body language. And the purpose of this speech the purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. I wish you all the best, Toastmaster Reshma.
The timing?
Oh yeah, sorry. The timing is 5 to 7 minutes, with the green at 5, amber at 6, and red at 7, and you have a maximum of 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Over to you.
Toastmaster Reshma, sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Toastmaster Reshma, over to you.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Let me ask a simple thing. Have you ever told a child sharing is caring? If yes, big mistake. Big mistake. Now, don't look at me like that. I'll tell you why. Last day, I was at the stationery and my eyes caught sight of this one silver hero pen. Hero pens have always been my weakness. So no further thoughts. I grabbed my pen and I went home happily singing Christina Perez, I love you for 1,000 years. Evening, my husband came back from office. I was so excited. I showed him the pen. They looked at the pen, looked at me, grinned, and told me, you better hide it. I didn't understand. I said, why? He told me, sharing is caring. Now I understood something is wrong with him. Maybe too much of tension in office, or maybe he's hungry. Yes, he is hungry. He just returned from office. So like the most dutiful wife, I told him, let me get you a cup of chai. And I went to the kitchen. It was like the next day came up, and then I sat down for my classes, took out my new pen, and I wrote pages and pages. It was such a good day. I was so happy because the nib was so smooth. The flow was excellent. Oh my God, it was simply perfect. After the class, I went back to my daily chores, like, the regular ones. But my pen sat majestically on my books on my table. The rest of the day just went off. And it was already bedtime. My husband and my kids were in bed by the time I came back from all the works, and they were having their bedtime storytelling sessions. So I peacefully sat down to write my homework. I opened the pen. I started writing. Something was not right. I wrote again. Oh, yes, the nib is not smooth like earlier. A sudden realization hit me. I just turned. Who used my pen? My husband asked, what happened? Who wrote with my pen? This time I was angry. What's wrong, Amma? My elder one asked. Now I'm storming. Who used my new pen? I wrote the letter which I gave you earlier, Amma. My little one told me. Earlier that day, my little boy had given me a letter. The content of the letter was, I love you, Amma. You are the best. I realized, what am I going to do now? I asked him. With my pen? Yes. Did you ask me before you took my pen? No. I liked your pen, so I wrote with it. You should have asked me, Kichu. This pen is not meant for sharing. See what happened? The nib is damaged. Why didn't you ask me for taking? But you always tell me sharing is caring, Amma. Why are you not sharing now? My boy was angry. I saw my husband smiling away to glory. What could I do now? I understood that earlier when I had told him he was not hungry and he was not having any tension in the office. He was just indirectly telling me sharing cannot always be caring. I can't do anything now, so I took a deep breath, zipped my mouth, went to bed. The other day, my husband gifted me a box of Ferrero chocolates. This time, I'm not going to repeat the same mistake. So what I did, I kept it safely hidden on top of my fridge. Afternoon, the kids came back from school. Kichu, my little one, he was very upset. His best friend fought with him. Oh, my poor darling. I was extra sweet to him during the lunch. After the lunch, while I was doing my dishes, he sat on the kitchen counter and we were chatting. Best moments. And in between, slowly, he just stood up and trying to show me his tricks in circus. He stood on top of the kitchen counter and there, Amma Ferrero! I took the box and I said, yeah, your father gifted it me the other day. Can you share it with me, please? Of course. Why wouldn't I? I'm not a bad mother. So the three of us shared a Ferrero each. It was evening. The boys went for playing. After some time, Kichu came back home with his friend Shivani. Amma, can you share one Ferrero with Shivani, please? Those puppy eyes. I had no choice. I shared. It wasn't long before the front door burst open and Kichu came in with Nimai. Nimai was followed by Ishan, then Aiden, then Navneet, then Ishwar, then Mahadev. Box of Ferrero was empty very soon. Why? Sharing is caring. Yes. These days, I don't need any containers in my home to store anything. Biscuits, chocolates, marshmallows, nothing. Why? Sharing is caring. And my little boy, Kichu, he's become the most popular boy in our block. Why? Sharing is caring. So, my dear fellow Toastmasters, let me just give you a small piece of advice. If you want to be the most popular person in this club, just take us all out for frequent treats. You'll become really famous and popular. Why? Sharing is. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. That was quite a jovial speech. Just give me a second. Yeah. Now we move on to the second speaker for the day. The second speaker is Toastmaster. I lost track. Amita. Yeah, Toastmaster Amita will be evaluated by Toastmaster Roji. Toastmaster Roji, can you read out the objectives of her speech?
A very jovial evening to each one of you present here. My target speaker, Toastmaster Amita, is attempting her Level 2 Project 3 speech, Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring from her elective pathway, Team Collaboration. The speech length is around 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and also for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Her speech title is, Are You Ready to Walk the Path? All the best, Toastmaster Amita. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Roji.
Yeah, Toastmaster Amita, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Toastmaster Amita, are you ready to walk the path? Are you ready to walk the path? Toastmaster Amita. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anita. I am more of a get-together kind of person. But here in Toastmasters, it is totally different thematic environment. Would I fit into this? Am I well informed about it? A place where speech, content, delivery are the key points. Would I be competent enough? Would I be jovial here? These were the different apprehensions sealing in my mind. At that juncture, I felt a tap on my shoulder. And that's when the mentor had come in to reassure me that she has had a topsy-turvy journey in Toastmasters, and today, wherever she is because of her mentor. Good evening to one and all present here. The mentor and the protege relationship had begun for me. It bloomed. And I would like to mention here, it bloomed only because I was ready to plunge into it. I was ready to get out of my comfort zone. I was ready to be sculpted by my mentor. Let me share my experience of district level debate competition. I was totally raw, just 6 months into the Toastmasters fraternity and having no clue about it whatsoever. I was one of the debaters there. Now, just imagine, half an hour on the D-Day, just before the event, my mentor calls me to come online and makes changes in the script. 15 minutes remaining, and we are still discussing. She is guiding me and teaching me how to collect the points, how to put the points in the chronological order. The tension is building up. The teammates are calling me on my phone to come there and give the AV check, that is the audio video check. And me and my mentor are still there sitting and trying to finalize the script. Oh my God, what a tension it was. And when I had to go through all these last minute changes and cascade it to my teammates too, a lot of team understanding had to be levied from my side. I had to convince the team members about the last minute changes in the script, which actually helped us win the first level. Now, what did it teach me? It taught me how to handle and collaborate with the teams. Foremost, it happened because I was ready to accept the suggestions from the mentor. I wasn't resistant to change. It is an important quality of a protege, which has to be there. Secondly, and believe me, it wasn't for the first time. For my project speeches too, sometimes I had to wait for a long time to get mentored, to deliver the speech the next day. But I am thankful. You know why? Because I learned spontaneity. Because my mentor trusted me to make decisions for myself, by myself. And it gave me opportunity. I would like to mention here that as a mentor, one must be conscious of the number of protege under them. to give justice to each one of them. Friends, I'm not a tech savvy person at all. Whatever little I knew was because of my children. Now, I was comfortable with using the PowerPoint. My mentor introduced the Canva to me, but still, I was using only PowerPoint. She encouraged me, but I was resistant to use it. Then one fine day, she teased me on the phone, "You be the old hag forever." That ignited me to at least try working on the Canva. I made the flyer once and sent it to her. She was so happy. She appreciated my efforts profusely. The mentor, so you see, dear friends, the mentor can actually just introduce you to different aspects of development, and everything just can't be spoon-fed by the mentor and digested by the mentee. It is the responsibility of the protege, the mentee, also to gauge and imbibe whatever is being provided, because it is so difficult for anybody to come out of their comfort zone. It always takes two to tango. Now, we have to be open for transformations. This collates with the very purpose of Toastmasters too, to learn and unlearn many things in the process. What I have understood from the mentor and protege journey is that the mentor is only going to come there to ignite the spark in you. Jovially, she will add the fuel in the initial stages and then leave you to think. But she will always be there to warn you, to save you from the ditches and push you whenever you get tired. So in this entire collaboration, I feel the major part is played by the protege also, whether the protege is ready to submit herself to receive. It is a very pious relationship of a guru and shishya. The guru has all the rights to be blunt, to be harsh, and to be demanding. I have experienced the bluntness, the feeling of being left all alone sometimes, but it has only made me a person with more conviction, more resilience, more scope to grow and transform myself and develop eunoia. It is the beautiful thinking. So I can see and feel the change in me. So, and it is my duty to submit myself to her wholeheartedly, to be frank with my mentor. I would like to end my speech with a quote by E.M. Foster. He is an English author in the 1970s. "Spoon feeding in the long run teaches us nothing but the shape of the spoon." Dear friends, remember, the mentor will never use the same spoon every time. She might use a butter knife also as well. So are you ready to take it? I feel no qualms in talking about the roller coaster ride that I have had with my mentor. Today, here I am in front of you, donning many hats from the past 3 years in the Toastmasters. Are you ready to walk the path with your mentor? Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amita. I think that was quite kind of a porcupining speech, I should say. And yes, there is an importance of mentor in our life. To move on now, I think the next speech and the final speech, prepared speech for the day is by yours truly. And here I have my very jubilant and joyous evaluator, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, our immediate past president, who's going to evaluate my speech. She would be reading out the objectives. Can I just, yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, my target speaker, DTM Anita, is trying to attempt Level 3 Project 2 electives, creating effective visual aids, titled, "Are You Eating with Awareness?" The time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes, and the purpose of this speech or this project is for the member to practice selecting and using a variety of visual aids during a speech. All the best, DTM Anita. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi. And yeah, Ahmed, you can start the time once I start sharing the screen. Just a second. Yeah, is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to run it on an automated mode. I'm going to keep changing the slides here. Good evening, everyone. As you all know, today I'm here to talk about a different kind of topic, which is related to what you eat. Just as I said, what you think is how you're going to behave, or how you're going to be. What you eat is also equally important to what you think. So that's what we're going to learn about today. And I have a disclaimer to make here. This presentation is just to create awareness and certainly not to offend any of the brands that I'm going to use here. Just a second. Okay, for people who are not having a sharp eyesight, how many of you have seen this picture before? And do you know it is on which product that we find in the supermarket? A quick one. Anyone who knows it or can see? Yeah, Ahmed.
Nuggets?
Sorry?
Chicken nuggets? Chicken nuggets?
No, anything else?
Breadcrumbs.
Is it on peanut
Perfect.
butter?
Breadcrumbs. That's the one.
Mine
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, it's breadcrumbs. Now, all of you know what breadcrumbs are, right? It's just dried breads, which is powdered, or plain fresh bread, which is powdered. Now, when did breadcrumbs happen to be having so many ingredients inside it? Can you see the number of ingredients here? Malted barley flour, etc., vegetable oil, riboflavin, whatever. But then, do we have something here which is actually not the right thing not the right thing to be consumed by each of us if we are using it on a large scale? Is something which is very alarming and which we are going to get to. Okay, you all know this, right? The moment you see this, how do you all feel? Yes, right. So what does this have? That I want to really bring forth onto the forum today. Preservatives, n number of preservatives, artificial flavors and colors. And well, why are they used? Obviously, the say is to keep the food fresh, to keep it more tastier, not to lose the odor, so on and so forth, presentable and longer shelf life. So the idea behind putting these preservatives as proclaimed by the food industry is that it stops the growth of microbes in food. It stops the oxidation. Think about the same cake here, which becomes, kind of yellow after you leave it in the air. Obviously, it's not presentable. It's not even consumable, right? So to stop oxidation and to reduce the risk of foodborne infections, right? That's why the preservatives are added. Now, are preservatives actually achieving that? Now, that's $1 million question. Of course, yes. That is why you're buying and eating it. If it is not achieving some of it, you wouldn't be eating it. But then there is another thing that's added along with what it is actually achieving. And that is, it is increasing the risk of preservative-borne illness. So forget about the other immunity-borne illnesses. This is increasing the illnesses that are caused by the presence of those preservatives in the packet, which is going into your stomach. Now, this is a kind of a research consensus that has been arrived for the 2018-22 period, wherein people have understood that there's everyone who's going out there working, don't have time. And so they need something which is there right at a hand's arm's length stretch. And you can just pick it up, take it home and make something out of it and eat and feel happy about it. So extended shelf life is something which is the most necessary thing in today's world. And so what happened is, because of that, preservatives have been pumped into things so that they have extended shelf life. So you keep them all at home. You don't have to visit the supermarket every day. And then, yes, there's been a steep rise in usage of dairy, meat, poultry products, etc. Now, coming to preservatives, these are the things that you need to be very much aware of. So this is a very old consensus that you see here, 2016, but it's very important because this is a confession made by the brand itself, right? So the brand has really said that now onwards, we're not going to have all those preservatives, but yet these preservatives are still going to be there. as you can read, the sorbate, the potassium sorbate, and the calcium propionate. Now, this slide is not for you to understand, to kind of mug up the names on this, but to remember whenever you go in for these things that these are there. And what do they do? If you look at sodium phosphate, it is a fertilizer, right? It's supposed to kill the insects. But what is it doing here? It's working bad, adverse to your heart and kidney. Think about datum, whatever it is, whatever the name is, it's there in the dough which is made into bun, causes heart diseases, increases your cholesterol. Cellulose, heavy amounts of cellulose in most of the food because it needs to absorb the moisture in your food. And you have the packing where, the smelling kind of a thing, butyl hydroquinone, which is more fuel thing, which is also present in your packaging. And then you have all these things that you see here. I'm not going to read them out, but please remember the allergies, the diseases, or the different risks that it is going to cause your stomach, in your gut, in your body. That's what is the awareness that has to be, that I wanted to be created by watching this, not for you to mug up any of these names. Doritos, another very interesting one, like the Ferrero, Reshma, we have the Doritos here, right? The chips. Now, maltodextrin is something which is made out of, the corn. It's high in fructose, and then you have that it's also carcinogenic. We don't know all this. We're just consuming it because it's tasty. Now let's come to the gross part of today's presentation, which is the artificial flavors and colors. All of us love ice cream, right? And do you know that it's got an additive called castoreum, which is actually taken from the anal sacs of beaver? Can you just see this anal sacs, anal glands over here? This is all stored and processed to add to your favorite ice creams. Then, as I said, L-cysteine. We all know that it's there in the breads and in the chips. What does it do? From where does it come? It comes from the human hair or the duck feathers, because if you take your human hair and put it into the pots, you can make the pot alive for a longer time because it keeps the moisture present for a long time. So now the color. You love those colors in your yogurts and dips and all that, right? It's from the cochineal extract. And what is cochineal extract? Surprisingly, it is taken from the shell of insects, the cochineal insects, which are powdered to give the color for it. And then your jelly beans and the shiny apples, the wax on them, it's made from bug excrement. And yes, you can see from here. And yes, this is the excrement which I'm talking about, which is used in your thing. So my dear friends, preservatives, colors, additives, they do preserve. What do they preserve? Do they preserve your time? Temporarily, yes. Your money? Of course, yes. Your health? Big no. Your kids' health? Permanently no. So now you decide, health or time. Are you eating with awareness? Over to you. 1 second, I'll just stop. Thank you so much. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of today's speeches. And I have our timer here, Toastmaster Ahmed, who's going to give us the timer's report. Ahmed, you need to unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Anita. Fellow Toastmasters, thank you very much. As a timer, I will be helping the speaker practice expressing thoughts within a specified time. My duty is to time the prepared speeches, table topics, and speech evaluations during this meeting. As you are aware, green card indicates qualifying time, yellow card indicates target time, and red card indicates the maximum time. Then once the red card is indicated, you have 30 minutes to finish. So as we are all aware that the table topics were from 5 to 7 minutes.
You don't talk about table topics now? You
No,
can just
not table topics. The prepared speeches were from 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay. The
if
timing report?
yes, the timing reports, anyone who is less than 5 minutes are disqualified, and even over 7.5 minutes also. Yeah.
Sorry, we know that.
Okay.
Let's move on to the number. Reshma's timing.
Okay, the
and-
timing for Reshma is 6 minutes and 28 seconds.
Okay. Amita?
Whereas Toastmaster Amita, the timing was 7 minutes and 26 seconds.
Okay.
And Toastmaster Anita, your timing were 8
Out
minutes
of-
to 8 minutes and 2 seconds. But it was very
Not-
interesting.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. I'm just
Welcome.
releasing. Wait, 1 second. Something else has come up, I think, right?
I think this was last time.
Yeah, I just changed it. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. Retro. Where's Anshuman? Yeah, I think I retro this also. Okay. Now we move on. So far, so good. We've completed the first segment. So can we just get a small feedback from our guest, Smita? So far, how did you feel about the entire session? Is it good? Is it boring? Is it mundane?
I found it really jovial, and I had a taste of different moods in the three speeches. Like the first one was very jovial. The second one was commendable, like the person was commending their mentor, and in the last one it was a huge eye opener. So all three of you had presented your speech from different angles, from different areas, which was very interesting. So, and very jovial. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Smita. Yeah, I think you hit the bullseye with those words. Yeah, stay on. Now is the most interesting part, wherein all of us get to take part. This is called the table topic session. And to conduct today's table topic session, we have none other than our very new table topics master, Toastmaster Padmini, who's so enthusiastic. She's been working on this for quite some time now, and she's got some very lovely topics coming over. Toastmaster Padmini, can you just read out your role and then also talk about the timing? Or maybe you can give it to Ahmed to talk about the timing once you complete. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Padmini, your table topics master for today. Table topics is where we practice impromptu speeches and thinking on our feet. A topic is given to the speaker, and the speaker has to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 or 2.5 minutes. Okay, and as I was saying, a timer will be showing green card at 1 minute, amber card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. You have an additional half a minute to go after red card. Okay. In case you complete the speech within 1 minute or you exceed 2.5 minutes, you'll be disqualified from voting. It's a very jovial activity, so I'm looking forward to some great speeches from all of you. All the best. So any volunteers?
You can pick them. Whoever's not spoken so far, you can just.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll go. Okay. Ryan, person in your life that has influenced you. Person in your life that has influenced you. Toastmaster Ryan.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Padmini, for the wonderful topic. So a person in my life, I would say, who has influenced me a lot would definitely be my dad. I think I have mentioned my dad so many times that Toastmaster Anita, DTM Anita probably has heard this more times than anybody. So yeah, actually, so my dad started from a very humble background, humble beginning. And he didn't really have much. And his story to where he has come now really, really inspires me. It influences me to work harder. It influences me to never give up, and it definitely influences me to aim for something bigger. My dad, as I said, started from very humble beginnings. He had a large family, and he didn't have much, and also financially they were not very stable. Then he grew up in Pune, Maharashtra. That is where my house is based in also currently. And he always had that ambition that he didn't want to settle for something normal. He wanted to settle for something out of the box. So he worked towards that, and he decided to move out of India and go to Oman, and eventually where I am right now, Dubai. So that makes me feel that I should also look for something bigger and better. Don't be happy with what you have right now. Always aim for something bigger, because it's with that attitude that you will definitely achieve great. If you're satisfied with what you have now, you will always be at the current level. You will always be at where you are. But if you want to grow in life, I definitely feel I could take inspiration from my dad and always aim for something bigger and better. Thank you. Over to you. Padmini on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, that was wonderful, Ryan. Now, Toastmaster Roji Satish, networking is the key of success. Networking is the key of success. Toastmaster Roji Satish.
Good evening. Thank you for the table topic, Master. Networking is the key to success. Well, success is defined in many terms. When it is related to networking, definitely today we are living in a world where with about one click of a button, you are able to connect with any person around the world when compared to the early times. Definitely, man was not destined to live in an island, but to come out of his own shell and mingle with each and every people around. But sometimes there are certain values or devalues that prevent a person from networking. Maybe the inhibitions or the limitations. For example, if you take my my childhood life, I was a very social person. And as I grew older, my social behavior increased. But after marriage and entering into a motherhood life, my world became my kids and my family. So the networking was only within the family, but later going again into professional life and also entering Toastmasters field, networking, I understand the importance of networking. It helps you to be very jovial and be self-loving, and also to share all what you have with other people around you. And Toastmasters is a great platform where we can network and also help others to evolve and grow, just like this one session, the 85th meeting of Newstart. I would definitely recommend everybody to network within whatever scenarios they are and come out of your shell and be jovial enough to be pleasant to each other. That's over to you, Table Topic Master.
Very interesting, Toastmaster Roji. Thank you. And our guest speaker, Smita. Grandparents are a boon for children's emotional growth. Grandparents are a boon for children's emotional growth. Guest Smita.
Yes. I will start with comparing parents to grandparents to a child's emotional growth. Whereas parents, generally parents are more concerned towards how they are going to make their child successful in life, like whether the child is getting a good education, whether the child has got all their economic needs, whether the child is having the right environment, for proper growth. It is the grandparents who are generally who generally, pamper the children. They are like, they are their emotional backbone of these children, of the entire family. Like that when the children come home, the mother provides if the mother is there, or if the mother is working, then maybe the maid will provide provide them with food. However, the children will run to their grandparents to play with them, to provide them emotional support, and to encourage them to connect to everyone better. Okay, the grandparent will say, okay, you are such a good child, you are such a sweet child, you listen to us so very well, and you are so friendly to everyone, and we are so proud of you. I'm not saying that the parents don't do that, but parents are generally, they have a work life, so they are more concerned that our child should, should be successful, should get good marks in school. He or she should participate in class discussions, and the teachers, we should hear good praise from all the teachers, and our child should be recognized in the school. So that is mainly, and also they are earning themselves, so they are comparatively busier than the grandparents, and the grandparents have got a lot of time to see and to see the child bloom into a flower, into a happy flower, into a colorful flower, full of the color of life, which the parents might or might not be. They want to be there, but they might not be there because they are, they are earning for that child, or they are working at home or outside, wherever. I would say that whether the mother is at home working
Yes,
from home.
Smita, I'm sorry, we have 2.5 minutes, I think.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Beautifully articulated, Smita. It was good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Toastmaster Sayed, better late than never. Better late than never. Toastmaster Sayed.
Better late than.
Somebody has to time him. Just a second. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi. Sorry if I was very busy in my time here. Well, better late than never. At times, we have to take many decisions, be it in our professional life, be it in our personal life. We have to evaluate then and there. We have to set some examples, think of some examples, some past experiences. At times, we need to see what mistakes we have done before and what could happen if I doesn't take this decision in future. For example, when I was working for a company in my previous job, I had an offer in another company, but at that particular point of time, this company was relatively new. I was one of the first employee. We had a lot of challenges. At that point of time, I was thinking, why should I join this company? I had joined this company, but the new company, but in my back of my mind, I was just thinking that probably this is not the right company for me. The previous company was good for me, but then later on, I ponder over it. I thought over it. I saw what will be my future. Then right now, after 3 years or 3.5 years of working in this company, I feel that this is the best decision what I have made. So that's why at that time, if I don't make this decision of joining this company, probably I would have not achieved what I have achieved now. So at times you have to take some tough decisions, but this tough decision can be a better decision for you in the future. So this is what my take on this particular topic. Over to you, Toastmaster. Thank you very much.
Very nice, Toastmaster Sayed. Thank you. Toastmaster Gerald, constructive criticism is important. Constructive criticism is important. Toastmaster Gerald. Gerald, I think. Is he there? Oh. Toastmaster Anita, I think Gerald is not here, no?
Binu is there. You can ask Binu.
Okay, okay, sorry, okay. Toastmaster Binu, constructive criticism is important. Constructive criticism is important, Toastmaster Binu.
Okay, looks like she's also not available. Maybe any takers? Anshuman, Rajlakshmi. One last chance.
Yeah, I think Anshuman is there, no? Okay, Toastmaster Anshuman, one policy at office you would change.
No, let him come on video. Only then you are assured.
Okay, okay, fine.
Anyone? Rajlakshmi, Anshuman, I think they're busy writing. Reshma? Okay, let's get going. I think we need to wind it up there.
Yeah.
I think we all finished. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're running late also. So ask for the timer's report and.
Yeah. Toastmaster Syed?
Yes.
Give the timer's report, na?
Okay. Toastmaster Ryan, 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Toastmaster Roji, 1 minute and 43 seconds. Toastmaster Smita, 2 minutes and 58 seconds.
Yeah, and
that's it.
Timing is 1 minute 35 seconds. Ahmed, if you could just send me through WhatsApp all the timings and names.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Padmini. If you're handing it over back to me.
Yeah. Over to you, Toastmaster Anita.
Thank you so much, dear. I think she also requires us to applaud because this is her maiden attempt at being the table topics master. Kudos to you. Just conducted very well, very well. Thank you so much, Padmini. Now we move on to the most important part of today's meeting, which is evaluation segment. And to evaluate, unfortunately, our general evaluator who is supposed to conduct the evaluation segment is not available because she could not connect. There was a network issue. But nevertheless, we have our first evaluator, Toastmaster Anshuman. Anshuman, are you ready to evaluate Toastmaster Reshma? We need both the speaker and evaluator on video. Toastmaster Reshma, are you there? Toastmaster Anshuman, are you ready?
Yes.
Toastmaster Reshma, are you ready to listen to the feedback?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. Over to you, Anshuman.
Shall I start?
Yes, over to you. I think you're not able to hear, I think. Anshuman? Can we just put on the chat? Anshuman, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
fine. Okay, sorry. Okay. Once again, a very good evening to one and all. Sharing is caring. At first, you left me intrigued with the title of your speech. I honestly thought you were going to give a nice goody-goody speech on the virtue much talked about, especially to children. But what I witnessed was a complete twist. A funny, entertaining tale on an everyday human being who's extremely possessive about her stuff, even with her own darling children. What I loved about your speech was the use of voice modulation to enact various characters in your tale. That little story was so endearing. I felt I was present there, witnessing all this family drama unfold right in front of me. The face expressions you made, whether it be you jovially singing with the pen in your hand, or whether, those heart-melting innocent faces that your children made, or the irritation when you knew that someone used your pen, I felt was spot on, or even when someone took your chocolates. And honestly, looking at all this, it made me believe that you truly understood the objectives of your speech and you delivered it accordingly. But there is always scope for improvement. And I believe there was a bit of points here which I can add, which will hopefully enhance the quality of your speech. While you used voice modulation, a good voice modulation perfectly, there were areas where you could have used it slightly better. Like when your husband warning you, telling sharing is caring, you should have just changed your voice a bit there and said, sharing is caring, I'm telling you. Or that confused look when your husband tells sharing and caring, you should have said, what is he talking about over here? Something that would just add and enhance your speech. Secondly, even when you were enacting those conversations, you were just looking at the camera most of the time. When you're enacting a conversation, just try and move a little to the left and the right, so that it feels that two people are talking to each other, not like you talking to me at that point of time. So that will make it a little more realistic when you're trying to enact a conversation between two people. And I would suggest you, especially when delivering such a humorous speech where you're using wide range of voice modulation and face expression and body language, try and use a bigger screen. It will enhance that speech that much more. Overall, I would say you created a great impact with your speech. A super cute and entertaining little tale, family drama, which unfolded right in front of us. You ticked most of the boxes in your objectives. Just a little work on your body language and voice modulation here and there, and you will be a great humorous speaker. All the best, and all the best for the future. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Yeah. Now we move on to the second speech being evaluated by Toastmaster Roji. She would be evaluating Toastmaster Amita's speech. Toastmaster Roji?
Yes. Once again, good evening, everyone. Let me first of all congratulate my target speaker who have achieved the purpose and objective of her speech. Kudos on that. Thank you. Now, ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu says, when the student is ready, the master appears. The entire speech can be condensed into that quote. Toastmaster Amita, you just painted a beautiful picture of a mentor-mentee relationship, that a relationship of empowerment. What I liked about your speech, you had a beautiful content with a beautiful, brilliant structure of an opening, a middle body, and the end. The transitions between these the three parts of a speech was too good. And also to add to that, the cherry on the cake was that your title itself encapsulated a call of action to the audience, also intriguing them, what is the path I have to take in a mentor-mentee relationship? Definitely, I can put your speech into the category of an inspirational, motivational, and informative speech because it would ignite sparks in any new member trying to join a Toastmasters platform and to know about the Toastmasters vision about mentoring. The second point, the brownie point, is that you added your own personal story, giving much highlights about the values a mentor-mentee has in a give and take relationship. Your personal story and how you won your debate competition and how that mentor-mentee relationship enhanced you to go for that, whatever be the situation. So on that, kudos on that as well. And to that, and also to add to that, you had a couple of messages to the audience, to the right audience.
The first was there should be a give and take between the mentor and mentee. The second one, there should be acceptance on the part of the mentee without resistance. And the third one, coming out of the comfort zone to go into a creative mode if you listen to your mentor with both your ears opening. It also, with the ears opened, it is also teaches the art of listening. Now, 2 points to take your speech to the next level. The first tip I would say is you had such a brilliant content. You have a very good voice. You could have used the real gestures and your voice modulation. When you said that there was just 15 minutes, you could have shown that gestures, use that virtual space. 15 minutes and my mentor is saying that bringing in the changes. That brings the drama, brings a lot of effect to the audience. Think, what is the next vote? Will she win or lose? Or will she go away from the scenario you are into? So on that aspect, and the second one, pauses. Pregnant pauses was required. Your transition was smooth, but a short, a spontaneous pause and a long pause would have made a difference. For the same example, what I said, like 15 minutes, if you just stop for a while, 15 minutes. And then you know what it is. You need not even say. Overall, your speech was informative, informational, or beautiful content. Your language, clarity, eye contact, and your personal story added much. Only the pauses as well as the gestures and voice modulation. You are indeed a brilliant speaker. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roji. And now we move on to the final evaluation by Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, who would be evaluating my speech. Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, are you ready?
Yes.
Fantastic. Over to you, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi.
Good evening, all the Toastmasters and guests, and a very warm good evening to my target speaker, DTM Anita, for completing Level 3, Project 2, Creating Effective Visual Aids. There is a saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Yes, she has depicted different things through her picture. That is about the preservatives, the usage of preservatives, the daily consumption of different items which everyone is using, how it is affecting our body, and what are the contents involved in each of these items. She has clearly explained with the help of visual aids. The visual aid which she has used here is the PowerPoint presentation. And as the saying clearly says, what she has explained in each of the presentation slides is very clear to each of us. And it is what I felt is it is not like a speech. It is like a teaching, like we saw the teacher in DTM Anita today, that she has explained all the contents very clearly. And if you ask any of the questions to anybody in the audience, they will be able to explain what you have showcased here today. So it shows the clarity of thoughts in you, and how well the audience received the content, or how well the audience received that clarity of thoughts from you, and how they have taken it back from you. Also, the title of the speech, when I saw that, are you eating with awareness? Now we will think twice or thrice whether we need to eat these things or not. Yes, we got the awareness today. We all are aware of these things, but still certain kind of reminders are needed that we are getting through different kinds of speech from different speakers. And Toastmaster Anita has given that speech with clarity. It is well presented, and the content was very much relative and relevant for everybody. And what I felt is the improvement points, what you could have done is, along with explaining all the things about the preservatives, what are the substitutes or the natural replacement of this substitute which we could, because we have to have certain things which is easily available in the market. So if these are preservatives involved, so what are the other items which we can use for our consumption? And other second point is the timing. Yeah, you have crossed the timing, but there were a lot of contents involved. But in this project, the project purpose of the project, it clearly says there should be the usage of only 3 pictures, like 2 to 3 pictures. So instead of that, so by sticking on to 2 to 3 pictures, instead of means you have used this more slides, that could have been little bit reduced and stick to the purpose of the statement. These 2 are the things, improvement points, which I felt for this particular project. And all the best for your next speeches. Thank you, and over to you, Ditya Manita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajlakshmi. I shall definitely look into it. Yeah, now we move on to the timer for the timer's report.
Yes, Toastmaster Anshuman, the evaluation time for Toastmaster Anshuman, it was 3 minutes and 19 seconds. For Toastmaster Roji, it was 3 minutes and 41 seconds. And for Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, it was 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
Okay, so 2 of them are qualified. Yeah, okay, fine. I shall release the polls shortly. The TT polls are out. Please select your best speaker. And yes, just give me 2 minutes. In the meanwhile, can you ask Toastmaster Rajalakshmi to ask for feedback as I get the polls done?
Yeah. So today we have our guest Smita. Smita, can we please have your feedback about the meeting, how you felt the meeting? Smita?
Maybe you can ask the others. We have guests from the other clubs as well.
Yeah. Toastmaster Roji?
Yes, it was indeed definitely a delightful and enlightening session, friendly, jovial phases. And I really enjoyed right from the opening speech, the presidential speech, or whatever was delivered. Even though we hear the same thing, every meeting, the way it is presented gives the impact. So it was presented in the most simple and in the effective manner. And I always love coming to Newstart and even the showstoppers when we had a joint meeting. So always a pleasure to be with y'all and to learn with y'all and also to evolve. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it is nice to have you here in Newstart every time, because I have actually taken 6 months gap from Toastmasters, but I think you are the only one approached me in between during the contest time. So we were almost in touch. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, Toastmaster and Amita, your feedback, please.
I'm almost like a member of this club.
Yeah.
I visit this club so often and it makes me feel at home. Of course, it is a very enlightening meeting, very jovial and cordial meeting. So it makes me come back again and again to visit you all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the feedback. And Binu and Gerald, Toastmaster Binu and Gerald would like to hear from you, at least to hear your sound. Toastmaster Binu? Yeah, Toastmaster Gerald, yes.
Hi, good evening once again. I'm happy to see all new faces in our club. It's been, Rajalakshmi said she took a gap of 6 months. I really do not know how long a gap I took, but I'm one of those founding member of this club. And when we started this club, and sadly, I'm not seeing all our old members.
We do have Raghu and Rajalakshmi and Anshuman. Yeah, not the founding members. We do have Shobha still. Yeah, but then yeah, they're traveling for.
Okay. Yeah, I think my absence to be blamed. I come here once in a while and I just saw 3 of you. Above all, the enthusiasm and how active each one of you are is like simply amazing. I'm happy that I could just see all of you do each of your role so perfectly. And in fact, I landed a while ago, some we reached home and then we had to take a nap. And then I woke up, I saw the message and I thought, okay, today at least let me just join. And Vinu also just joined me. Okay, so very happy to be here. I hope and trust that I'll be able to be regular. So many times I made this promise. I hope to be regular.
Yeah, thanks, Gerald. So we expect Toastmaster Binu and Toastmaster Gerald for our next meeting, and we'll be allocating roles now itself to you both.
Binu is
Yeah.
also.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Toastmaster
evening.
Binu. Glad to meet all of you. And it's a nice feeling to see so many members in Newstart Toastmasters Club. Kudos to whoever worked behind this. And it's really encouraging and it's inspiring. You guys are bringing us memories. So hoping to be regular in the coming meetings. Nice to meet all of you. All the best.
Yeah, thank you, Binu. We have our guest Smita. Yeah, Smita, can we have feedback from you?
Thank you everyone for this scintillating meeting, and I feel quite jovial to attend it, and all the three speeches were really nice and really something I can aspire to. I would surely like to attend more such meetings. And thank you everyone for welcoming me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Smita. DTM Anida means she will be sending our next meeting details to you. So expect to meet you in the next meeting also. Thank you. Over to you, DTM Anita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajlakshmi. You have to tell us how jovial you felt today.
Actually,
it's a hectic schedule.
Yeah, I was a little bit sleepy in the beginning. So now, like throughout the meeting, yeah, felt so rejuvenating and jovial. And I feel like I didn't show complete justice to the evaluation, but yeah, I'll be trying my best.
Those 2 points of recommendation or 1 point of recommendation makes a huge change in our scripting, our thought process. So I think whatever recommendations have been made by all the many evaluators today brought in so much of meaning into the speeches. I mean, this is where the entire, changes and the growth happens, the progress happens. I think each of us respect it. And that's what is very important. So thank you so much, Rajlakshmi. I mean, personally, I have to thank you because those are things which are very important. And especially after you've completed a path, you need to know how to manage time, which is very, very important. Yeah, and to just moving on, I'll first quickly wrap up with the certificates part. Just give me a second. Yes. The winners today, everyone is a winner who's participated, nevertheless. Toastmaster Reshma, the best speaker. So sharing is definitely caring. So we are sharing the certificate for you. Please do care about it. We have Toastmaster Ryan, who speaks about loads and loads about his father all the time. See, respecting your elders always brings you awards and accolades. Congrats, Ryan. And of course, somebody from a comedian to becoming an ace evaluator. Of course, he's like totally becoming a better evaluator after getting married. I can understand. And you can see it today. So congrats, Anshuman. Just give me a second. So congrats to all who have won. Thank you so much to our timer also. Quickly, Ryan, if you could give us the Wordmaster report. And do you have any changes in vocab or any nice things that you heard today that you want to give in as a grammarian report, please? Over to you.
Yes. Good evening again, everyone. So as your word master and grammarian, I would like to give the report. And I'm so glad that everyone used the word jovial today. I'm very jovial about it. And I would like to point out one thing that which I would request all of you to give props and a round of applause for this person. Guest Smita was the person who used this word the most, despite being her first time, despite being the guest. She used the word the most in this meeting, which I would really commend her for doing so. Nevertheless, other Toastmasters such as Toastmaster DTM Anita, Toastmaster Roji, Toastmaster Amita, Toastmaster Smita, Toastmaster Padmini, and Toastmaster Anshuman, all of y'all have used the word so well in this meeting. Use the word so well in this meeting. And that was the good part about it. Also, as Toastmaster Anshuman earlier said, there's always scope for improvement. So what I would definitely suggest to improve is that I would, while speaking, while delivering speeches, I'm a big fan of hand gestures. So I would definitely request and recommend that everyone starts using hand gestures more during the meeting. I know this is a virtual platform, but as much as possible, try to use hand gestures because it brings in a sense of relatability between the audience and the speaker. Relating the vocabulary, everyone was on point with the vocabulary today. I did not find any grammatical errors, and it was a great meeting. Thank you. Over to you, DTM Anita.
Yes, there were no errors, but we could have heard something which is complimenting being used by people. But nevertheless, that was an excellent Wordmaster report. And yes, in grammarian road, we're not looking only for mistakes. We're also looking to compliment the people who come up with very good complimenting words. Right. So thank you, Ryan. Again, here we have a good group of newcomers who have come here and who need a lot of mentoring, and they're picking up very fast and doing an excellent job in their maiden roles. So kudos to each one of you and for making this meeting a very jubilant meeting with a lot of jovial speakers and role players. And thank you, Toastmaster Padmini, for the table topics. I think we've come to the end of the meeting today, and our next meeting will be 15 days from now, but that's going to be a hybrid meeting. We're going to meet in person as well because we don't believe in only meeting online. So people who are coming from India can always join us online, but the rest will have to come to the venue, which is the NMC conference room. Yeah. So yes, so with the power given to me as the acting president for today's meeting, I declare this meeting number 85 as closed.